All right, now this is if y'all was listening to that last episode, that number 9 there, golly, y'all were listening to some crazy dude right here, a crazy dude. Anyway, we're gonna get on down into the junior high. Junior high, the junior year there where I was playing ball and get. I've been thinking about what how all went down on my junior year, and it was the year that I was rehabilitating my knee, and we really had a great season, another great season. We ended up well and all that good stuff. But first of all, before I get into that, I wanted to kind of go back. I'm not going back. I just want to step out a little bit and give you a heads up on really, you know, if y'all have kept up with any of these episodes and you understand what my life was all about, the alcohol and drugs and all the things that went on with that, uh, you could see. I mean, I can see anyway, being coming back through my sobriety and all the way down into my going through this drunk log here. But you know, at any stage of this insanity on my drinking and then drugging, one could say, "Hey, you got a problem. You got a problem. You know, why don't you do something about it?" And a lot of people would say that maybe to me, or I'd listen it go off the top of my head. I wouldn't even think about it. But I never realized, I never even thought about uh, the problem because alcohol and drugs they were my solution forever on my fear about getting over any of my inferiority complexes or just I wasn't uh, all there when I wasn't drinking. Had issues that I couldn't overcome, and it seemed like if I got enough alcohol or got enough drugs in my system, I didn't have to worry with that, and I just felt inadequate or less than when I was sober. So, I'm still I have obviously I could to recognize the disease. I didn't even have a clue about alcoholism or drug addiction. I did have a uncle that uh, at one time, I knew he had some. It looked like he had a terrible problem, but hey, I wasn't even there. I mean, I was even young. I hadn't even drank back in then days, and I noticed his way he looked from one time that I'd see him to the next. So, but I didn't know it was alcohol. And that was what it was. It was consuming his life. But anyway, I'm trying to give you an understanding about the first initiative or the first main uh, way that anybody's going to even think about getting sober and try to live a life that is free from alcohol and drugs is is committing to yourself that alcohol and drugs when I take them are a problem or it always something it never works out. It never works out in the end. You drink one. When I drank one, it would have set off a craving that I couldn't overcome. And they overcut, at first when I started drinking, I didn't realize all of this. I thought it was just making me somebody. But as I got on and well, as I rolled my life back, when I started, even at this stage of my drinking here, I wasn't drinking to enjoy parties a lot or and do this or do that. I was drinking because when I took a drink, it would overpower me and I would drink until I would pass out or black out and until I couldn't do it no more. And then I would end up the next day having all these fears of all these they're false fears, but they're real to me. And I don't like that because I want to be Mr. Macho, Mr. Cool, So soon as I drink a drink of alcohol or got enough alcohol in me the next day, I'm off and running again. The same old routine over and over and over and over. So I just wanted to throw that out. If you're in a stage or you're in a position where you're drinking and you're kind of young, or or you're about my age, you're probably I was probably 20, 21 maybe at the time, 22 maybe, 21, 22. But yeah, something that time. But I was overcome by alcoholism and drug addiction right then. But nobody could tell me nothing. Not is that a problem was my alcohol. So that is the first main position you have to take about moving into a position, into the understanding that one drink will set off a craving in me that I can't overcome. And it just I've got to drown it. I've got to drown it. So leave that in your mind, or leave that in your thoughts if you are listening to anything about this, or if you've tried to stay sober for a while. And then the old, the old big lie is, hey man, I've been sober 6 months, and I've been doing good. I've been getting it all done. I had a little problem back in the day, or got a DWI, or it's always something. Usually we get in a bind. We have to, hey, we have to make some deal that we'll do this for a little while, and then all of a sudden, and 6 months later, man, I ain't had a drink. I ain't done nothing wrong. Everything's good. Isn't that amazing? Well, I ought to be able to take a drink of alcohol. I mean, hell, I'm gonna have a party. I'm gonna go to a buddy's party or a barbecue or something, or nothing that you're gonna just think you're gonna get teetotally drunk. But all of a sudden, you throw that first beer back or whatever, and man, that was good. And all these tied up feelings are now relieving a little bit after that 6 months of sobriety. And hey, oh man, give me another. I'll drink another one. Well, another one and another one and another one. Then all of a sudden you're flat on your butt, and even in a blackout, but you're back where you were. But alcoholism is a disease. It doesn't quit when you quit. It always gets worse. And when you take that other drink 6 months down the road, it explodes. And you're in a worse predicament than you quit. So I just tossed that out. Okay, so in between there, because I thought at this time I might give you a heads up on a step that I used to do, I do every day, that it keeps me for the solution of alcohol. It's not alcohol and drugs. They're not my solution. But the way out is that I'm going to give y'all in each little segment a little bit from now on to give you a heads up on how I do business. And I stay sober one day at a time. But anyway, back to my junior year, I've really been thinking a little bit about my junior year. It was I was going good in football. I was going good everything we were doing on the issues of just saying, hey, we're okay with everything going on. So my drinking, I really didn't have a lot of problems my junior year. I was thinking about that myself, the same old issues that were not too terribly bad. I got in a few run-ins with the coaches, and not with the head coach, but a few of the assistant coaches that didn't like me because I was, if you quote it, I was a hell raiser. So everybody, that way you'd have one or two coaches that they had their odds and ends about me, and they would try to bring something up against me, whatever. But it never did take. It never did, do anything. And I felt that I was performing on a football field, and a lot of people was liking it. So that kind of stuff just kind of hit and miss. So really not hardly any bad situations, Joe. Bad situations. I can tell you something really funny. I might do it in the next segment, but I just wanted to do this deal for Christmas, right before Christmas here, because a lot of people are, they think they can get by with another drunk or another drink, and they can do what they want to do. Let me tell you this right here, then I'm gonna leave it off. I'm gonna get back right after Christmas, and I'll probably let this funny story out, but it's so embarrassing. I don't know if I can let that one out. The one before a while ago, that happened, and it's just things that I got to tell people that it's crazy, and I'm sure some people might be listening out there that they've got their own stories that, hey man, this guy, it knows what he's talking about on being drunk, and now he's sober. So anyway, that's about what I'll shut it down. I was just trying to think about anything that I wanted to say, or anyway. I guess the last thing is, right now, if you're in a position that you even doubt, you even have a thought that you may be having issues with alcohol. I'm not going to say problem, because most drunks drink because they like the way it makes them feel. It makes them feel okay, and then they think that they're secure in what they're doing. So, if you do have any thought that it could be something that you need to, address it and just take it bull by the horns, it's a good time to sit down and, I know it's hard. It would be hard. It would have been hard for me to do that, but if you can just look in yourself in the mirror and look into your eyes in the mirror and say one or two things that can get something in your maybe in your heart, to realize that there is something going on that I don't like when I'm sober. When I take a drink, it's over. You're going to the next drunk. So over and out. I'm gone. I'll see y'all after Christmas. Thank you.